wabarakatuh. A lovely good morning and warm greeting to all respected academicians, educators, colleagues, and fantastic viewers out there. Thank you, Mr. Azlan Abdurrahman, the head of Academy of Language Studies and amazing ILD team, for giving the opportunity for me to be here. I am Marzim Marzuki and I'll be your moderator for today. Before we proceed, let's begin with reciting the Kitab Al-Fatihah. Right, first let me give you a warm welcome again to each and everyone to our webinar organized by APB ILD webinar series UiTM Kedah branch. In this session, it is an honor to have Puan Razanawati Nordin with us today as she will be sharing her vast experience as an educator for the past 26 years. After graduating from University of Wisconsin-Milwaukee, USA, she embarked her journey as a teacher in 1996 at Mara Institution, teaching students in A-level program, KPUTM, USM, and matriculation programs. In 2007, she joined UiTM to find her new passions, which are creative teaching, game-based learning, learning methodology, perceptual learning style, and the latest is on special needs education. Since then, she has backed her teaching innovations with four special awards, 13 gold, 1 silver, and 3 bronze medal awards in several innovation competitions. The highest of her career was winning the Anugerah Pengajaran for Anugerah Academic Staff in 2019. So ladies and gentlemen, to enjoy the talk on tips for effective teaching writing, let's give a welcome to our guest speaker, Puan Razanawati Nordin. Pass over to you, Razana.
Thank you very much, Madam Moderator. It's an honor to have you as the moderator. All right.
You.
So I will be using dual language, bahasa, switching from bahasa to English. Is that okay, Madam Moderator?
No problem.
No problem. Okay, good. All right. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Salam sejahtera. Good morning. Selamat pagi kepada semua ya. To all viewers in virtually online. Okay, I think if I'm not mistaken, there are 3 channels altogether. Right, we have the Google Meet, YouTube, and also Facebook. All right, so I'll be sharing the slide. Oh, selalu lupa yang tu kan? Always forget that part. Window. You see anything here?
Not yet. No.
No, eh? Tu dia. Now anything? Ada nah?
Yes.
Alright. So I guess I have to minimize my tag here. So if I am going too fast, kalau laju sangat, slow me down ya. I have the tendency to speak very fast. Okay, what about this? Dr. Mazlin, is this clear?
Yep.
All right.
Good.
Okay. All right. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, it's going to be a very, very what do you call sharing session, okay, a sharing session with the viewers. All right, so I hope, okay, there are some things that you find you would call benefits, okay, some benefits or some pointers that you can use in your classroom. Okay, so here, okay, here comes the 1 million question. Do you think that teaching is an art or science or craft? Okay, so personally, okay, personally, I think teaching is all three. It is an art, it is a science, it is a craft. Okay, that is how good we are, okay? We are juggling three things, three skills altogether. Why do I say it is an art, a science, or a craft? Because we're dealing with science, okay, dealing with logic. When it comes to art, okay, we are talking about imagination. And you know, when we talk about craft, okay, we basically using our practical experience to teach. All right, so when we talk about what do you call effective, okay, effective, uh, dia sekali-sekala ni dia nak tengok juga muka kawan-kawan tu. Okay, hold on. Alright, I'm supposed to admit a few of my friends in as well. Ada orang ketuk pintu kejap ya. Alright, okay. Okay, Dr. Mazlin?
Okay.
Alright, ada orang. Okay, so where were we? So when we talk about effective teaching, okay, let's go back here. Okay. We always think as students getting straight A's. Kalau ada pelajar dapat 4 flat tu kira bagus lah. Okay, cikgu tu bagus. SPM 20 ni 20 A's, okay, plus bagus. Okay, so yes, it is true, but it's more to it. All right, so not only that, okay, if we look at the definition of effective teaching is it shows that the teacher has a deep understanding of the curriculum. The teacher plan, okay, teach and assess to promote student. Okay, we are able to boost our students' motivation, and in fact, on top of that, okay, we have a set of a high quality instruction to increase student achievement based on research-based instruction. So obviously, now that we are in, dealing with online ODL, okay, here comes the the extra work that we need to is to master the technology. All right, so effective teaching is not, not focused only the achievement, but also the teacher herself or himself. Look at the teacher's behavior, the teacher's knowledge, the teacher's belief. Okay, that itself is a major contribution, because we whatever we say, whatever we do in the class have really affect, leave impact, a great impact towards students, okay, throughout their life. All right, so if we are not if we can improve their academic student achievement, that is definitely a plus point, right? So in short, okay, effective educators is someone who is prepared, okay, someone who is prepared physically, mentally, emotionally prepared, set clear, clear and fair expectation, have a positive attitude, patient with students, okay, and always assess their teaching. All right. Interesting when we talk about patient with student, something that is viral going on right now, okay? So apalah, kita not gonna comment on that. All right, now one thing for sure, okay, one thing, a good effective educator is someone who is able to adjust, always deal with changes. All right, sometimes it's not the one class. sometimes you have to adjust everything to your other classes, different batches, different curriculum. So believe it or not, we are like a punching bag here. We are like, memang kena kuat lah kan orang kata. In order to adjust all these different challenges. Okay, so next is what do you call materials. Okay, other than that, students, material, and also, okay, you are able to recognize the style. Okay, that was my greatest challenge when I first started in 1996. I was teaching A-level students. Okay, so Zana pergi aja, you go and teach the A-level students. One class, okay, they have set 15 students. Seronok, memang seronok. Wait, I need to. Sorry. I need to welcome someone here. Admit. Okay. Alright. Okay, someone outside. Okay, we need to understand. Okay, how do they deal or behave in the classroom? All right. So I'm not going to throw you all the theories or any empirical data related to effective teaching. I am just going to share, okay, I'm just going to share some top 10 tips, okay, or tricks, I would say, that works, you know, do the do's and the don'ts, the things that I experiment in the classroom. All right. Who can imagine the first, okay, the first thing that you need to do in the class? When I first started in 1996, a senior of mine would say, Zana, kau kena tahu budak-budak ni. That was the first comment that she gave me. I mean, the lesson that I learned. Tip number one is get to know your students because they are our client. Okay, so don't jump into all those heavy content on the first day. Okay, it's establishing your trust. Okay, you know, you are trying to get to know them, find out their nickname, their family, future plans, age. Okay, sometimes we have age gap in the classroom. We have someone who is 18 and the other one is 24. Find out their strength, weakness, okay, the idol, favorite. My favorite is I always ask their learning goals. Okay, what do you want in the class? All right. So once you understand this, okay, especially now you're dealing with the generation X, Z, bukan X, saya, millennials, okay, then you will see, alamak, okay, some of your contents invalid, tak boleh digunakan. I remember coming into a class bringing a content on Elvis Presley. And then I was talking about Britney Spears in the class. And my friend says, Zana, Britney Spears is so old. I mean, now people are talking about Ariana Grande. I'm like, oh, Ariana Grande. Okay. Ariana Grande. So I don't think so Ariana Grande it's relevant, right? Dr. Mazlin? Now it's different. So when we see students respond, then it's like, wow, you're good, and you yourself have to study. Okay, believe it or not, one thing about being an effective teacher or lecturer is relearn yourself. Okay, so now it's BTS. Okay, the latest trend, K-pop. K-pop lah, yeah, K-pop, all the things K-pop. I can't even pronounce some of the things. Okay, Blackpink. So when you start throwing all the pop culture into the class, okay, there'll be students will be excited. Seronok lah, madam, cakap pasal Korea. Okay, all right. So based on the study, okay, based on my study, when I did my master is study of perceptual learning style, I found that the study was conducted at College Marakulim. Okay, and then asking students, okay, especially dealing with language, okay, learning language. Our Malay student, pelajar Melayu kita, they prefer learning not visual, not auditory, but more towards kinesthetic. Okay, kinesthetic. And when we ask the question on, okay, an interview as well, whether they prefer individual or group, okay, believe it or not, our students love group, working in a group. However, okay, the high achiever, especially the excellent students, they love individual. Okay, budak yang terror bagus-bagus ni dia tak mau, tak suka group, tak boleh. Okay, weak students, okay, they love to have group works. Okay, since then, okay, I decided to decide, okay, the advantage on having plenty of group work. Okay, and all my focus of my content is around using kinesthetic, okay, style. All right. Interesting about high achiever is when their comment is, I don't want to share whatever it is. Okay. At the end, madam, I'm the only one who's doing it, doing all the tasks, or I'm doing the work. The rest, they are not doing it. Itu dia ada advantage and disadvantage dia. Alright, Dr. Mazlin, am I okay so far?
Okay, Zara. Okay. Good.
Baru tip. Baru tip number 1 ni. Baru tip number 1 lah.
Baru tip number 1. Slow and steady, tak apa.
Okay.
Alright.
So you ask yourself, okay, once you get to know your students, you decide whether you want to have your lesson to be more teacher directed or more student directed. You want lecture, full lecture, or you want something on work example, you want something interactive, okay, flip, discussion, collaborative learning, inquiry, problem-based learning, etc., etc. So decide. Now, this is all about experiment. That's why it is teaching is a science, kan? Kita nak tahu nak pergi mana, one thing about full lecture, okay, I ask myself, especially students in campus, Kedah campus, they have lecture 8 to 10, 10 to 12, 12 to 2, 2 to 1, and they have lecture. Then suddenly they have to come into my class. Am I going to give another lecture? Nak pergi kuliah lagi ke? So, and you need to know the hours, okay, when is your class? If it's 12 noon, macam mana? If it's 4 o'clock, 8 o'clock at night, so it's you as a teacher you have to be very flexible. Okay, all right. Okay, tip number 2. Okay, tip number 2. Yang ni tak boleh lari. This is a must. Okay, this is a must. You need to know your content very well. Okay, inside out. Okay. It depends, kan? We have different codes, different subject. Code number 1, okay, this is the content. Okay, then, okay, once you know your content, okay, usually our content, it's what you call irrelevant. Okay, irrelevant, because examples that they use, okay, is not familiar to our student. Okay, our student, Malaysian student especially, especially when we read textbook, kan, banyak examples from overseas, foreign examples. All right, so once you know your content, then you start playing with your content. All right, you start selecting what is similar to the real curriculum. The content is the curriculum, right? Choose something current, something interest, something of their preference. Do you think that the content, if it's too heavy, that then the student can absorb your teaching? All right. Then you have to go on and back and forth to develop your lesson based on the learning objective. So learning objective, what is it that you are teaching them? Week 1, week 2, week 3. So look at that, you want to fulfill that, okay? Nak pelajar mencapai. So a lot of visualizing. Okay. Nak pakai kuasa, nak minta Tok Bomo lah visualizing. Okay, visualizing. That's why it comes with experience, whether this is yes or no. Sometimes, you know, it works with this class, but it doesn't work with the other class. Okay, kelas 8 pagi, pukul 8 pagi boleh. Okay, but you know, 2 o'clock after lunch, tak boleh. It doesn't, orang kata orang Kelantan cannot go. Cannot go. So, throw it out. Okay, throw it out. So, know your content so that you can manage, you can plan your lesson. All right. Next, tip number 3. Okay. Those who are just joined in. Okay. I'm just sharing 10 tips, 10 top tips, the things that I've used in my class. Okay, all right. The next one is organize your content into 5 parts. All right. I noticed this in my son's teaching as well. The teacher, where the teacher have warm up and hook. In bahasa ada set induksi. So set induksi sometimes it could be 10 minutes, 15 minutes. Okay, this is just to prep the student. Okay, kena ada. Orang kata apa? Kalau ada generator tu nak bagi panas lah, nak kasih panas enjin. Alright. So my teacher, the teachers in my son's classroom, what they did is exercise. You know, senaman jari, senaman, you know, a little bit of warm up. Okay. Especially, you know, before, you know, teaching, you know, all the heavy content. So boleh, you know, just loosen up their muscles. Then you start engage your topic. So benda-benda ni mungkin, you know, you have start, you can change, okay, tukar-tukar your warm up, because we are going to go into classes more than once, kan. Then we have your introduction, body, conclusion, enrichment. Introduction to is the topic, okay. Then the body is the, you know, having you know, short lectures, you have examples. Then you need to wrap up. Jangan lupa tutup, okay, to close your lesson and give enrichment. All right. So when you arrange it in a way, okay, it will help to guide your students, okay, for 1 hour, for 2 hours, or 3 hours, okay, depending on your lecture. Kena susun. Even if your class is 1 hour, still you need to have the same 5-part content. All right. So this one I found something. This is very interesting. Okay, some easy steps to follow. All right, some easy steps to follow. All right. So the warm up and the hook thing is during, you know, you try to engage the students. You can connect whatever the lesson before. Okay, explain to them. All right. And then you can connect with what is next. Okay, how they are related. Okay. All right. I remember when I first started is where writing down the instruction sentence by sentence. Okay. Tak tahu nak cakap apa, nak susun apa. Lepas ni cakap apa? You are just lost, kan? So tulislah. Okay. Eventually, you know, after a while, after years, okay, you know what to say, what to flow. And then by the end of it, when you jot down notes, okay, you won't forget the things that you are supposed to teach. Kadang-kadang kita lupa, okay, especially at this age, kan. Dia bila dah masuk zaman-zaman purba kala ni, kan. Alright. Now, next is, okay. Alright. Enrichment, okay. Let me go here before that. Enrichment here. Enrichment here is a task, okay. When you choose your task, make sure it's related to the lesson, okay, and it not don't give like 20 question or 20 homework. Give slice out, bagi sikit-sikit so that they will remember. Alright, dia macam pengukuhan alright. Okay, so here I found a very simple lesson plan. Okay, the things that you can assemble. Okay, cantik if you need guidance kan to come into class. Oh, alright. Asma still lost me. Alright. Where do we go just now? No. Testing. This is what happened. Asla, are you with me? Can you hear me? Testing, is it clear? All right, okay. Now, one thing about why my webcam, it is very sensitive. It is very sensitive. Kita gerak, nak kata saya gerak tak lah kan. Pegang sikit je dia akan hilang. Ataupun mungkin dia panas kan. So, alright, where were we? Tengok dia. I think it's the line kan, Dr. Mazlin?
Ya, Zana.
But you can hear me, but you cannot see me, eh? Can you hear me? Suara ada.
Okay. Yes, tadi I ingatkan you tunjuk-tunjuk je. Okay. Alright. I nampak apa tu cursor je berjalan sini sana. Alright. Okay. Zana, would you like to take one question from the audience? Ada satu soalan.
I think I'm gonna close this. Okay. Boleh lah? So that. Okay, boleh.
Yeah. Got one participant tadi raise your hand, queue for questions.
Okay.
So I can ask Madam Zana.
Question?
No?
Nur Aina. Dr. Nur Aina ya?
Tak ada. Maybe tak ada kot. Okay. Suara you pecah Zana sekarang? Yeah. Zana?
I'm here. I'm waiting for the question. Tak ada?
Tak ada.
Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Tak ada. Okay. Alright. Okay. So can I proceed?
Yes.
From slide 13 ya? From slide 13 boleh? Alright. Baru. Kena tengok jugalah. I guess since our line is like not stable enough. Alright. Lesson plans. Okay, lesson plan. This is one of the lesson plans that I find, simple and boleh lah. It's not messy now. Sometimes if you have too many information, it will be crowded. Okay. Now, why do we have all this, planning? Why do we need all this planning? Sometimes you want to decide the mini breaks. Okay, I usually have mini breaks in my classes. Okay, kena ada these mini breaks. or because, okay, ni dia, because of the attention span, okay, because especially teenagers, or children, human, they cannot focus, okay, the attention span is only for 8 seconds. So you are teaching for 1 hour, you are teaching 2 hours. How are you going to deal with that? So you cannot simply give a long lecture. I think you need to have that mini breaks every 15 minutes, 15 minutes, 15 minutes, so that students can refresh, okay. So mini breaks. So if you break, what is it? Where do you want to continue? Okay, where do you pick up your lesson? All right, mini breaks. Okay, my student love these mini breaks because they can run off to the toilet, they can run off to get what they call drinks. Okay, pergi beli nasi lemak kat tepi tu kejap. Okay, and then come back. Alright, when you come back, yes, believe me, they are fresh. Okay. Alright, tip number 4. Tip number 4. Kita tengok, okay tak kamera? Kamera ni dia acah-acah lah kan. Kejap dia okay. Alright. Dia kena on and off Manja sikit. Alright, tip number 4. Okay, is choosing your language. Okay, choosing your language. So, how do you decide? Do you want to sound, if you use technical, okay, or bombastic words, okay, students will go, huh? Dia cakap apa ni? Okay, that you end up repeating yourself, explaining, okay, again and again and again. So I decided to be careful with my word choice and sentence structure. Always come up with something simple, formal, and clear. Something, you be clear, and always give a step by step. Firstly, secondly, thirdly, all right? Then once you settle, then you move to the next instruction. All right? Same goes to delivering the content. Okay? It's not easy, especially teaching English. Okay? Teaching English in Sungai Petani, dealing with students, majority from Kedah, okay, from rural area. So it is important to have simple English, using simple English, right? Okay, next is tip number 5. Okay, laju ni, am I going too fast? Okay. All right. Tip number 5, it's always open your communication. All right, open your communication, but set your boundaries. Okay, so I have students. Okay, they can come to I have an open door policy. Okay, they can just jump into my my office. Okay, drop by. Hi, madam. Yeah. They can come and do consultation. They can ask me question. But later on, I discover they take advantage. So you have to have that ethic. So meaning, at one point I have students sending me messages at 1 o'clock, 2 o'clock in the morning. Madam, check how's my okay tak essay, or did you get my report 2 o'clock in the morning? And I replied, pukul 2 kot. So madam, why? Okay tak? So you have to explain it in a way, you have to be clear with your students, but because they are up 24 hours, especially at night kan. Diorang kan Batman, Batwoman. Malam-malam tu cerah aja kan. Segar. So set lah, okay, don't worry, first thing in the morning I will entertain you. Okay, so I opened my channel 8 o'clock, okay, my WhatsApp or Telegram, and then before 6 we close. Okay, that boundary tu kena ada. Alright. So far so good, huh? Line is okay. Let me look at the messages. All right. Next is tip number 6. Okay, tip number 6. How do you deal with content where students they cannot understand? Okay, they cannot understand. My favorite technique of telling them is I use analogy. Okay, analogy. Analogy is for students to digest. Okay, especially when dealing with grammatical terms. Okay, when you have to make comparison or talking about the process of writing. Okay, the process of writing, students don't get that difficult stages tu kan. Dia macam kenapa madam? So I give analogy is a comparison between two things. So pause sebentar kejap, and then explain it in a way so they don't understand what is a run on. Okay, so the analogy I give you, just imagine you are eating your breakfast, you have nasi lemak, okay, you have mi rebus, you have laksa, you put everything in the bowl and you mix the bowl, and you have ais kacang, you put it in the ais kacang, mix it and you eat your breakfast. And students will definitely kata, ew madam, that's too much. Okay, you will be bloated. Then you will feel like vomiting. So dia kata, so that is run on sentences. Run on sentences is having too many things going on in one sentence. So giving analogy paint you a scenario. Okay, paint you a scenario. So student kita ni visual dia boleh bayangkan lah. So that they do it. Alright. Okay, so this is analogy. Analogy sangat, I find it effective. Okay, sangat berkesan. Alright. Okay, next is, alright, other than analogy, I use storytelling. Yes, we have ada soalan You have question? Ada someone Tak ada
Tak ada.
Okay, tak ada. Okay, then other than analogy, okay, I use storytelling. Okay, storytelling. Storytelling is where somewhere in between. Okay, talking about in writing, especially revision. Madam, they don't see it is important to have that revision or the editing. Pada mereka tak penting, hantar je terus. Alright, but when you do storytelling, okay, it will understand for them to you can have that emotional engage. Okay, so those benefit. You can have a clear structure. So I told them, okay, just imagine writing. You are cycling, you are pedaling your bicycle. Then suddenly you decide you want to do the checking at the same time. You want to brainstorm at the same time. So basically, you are cycling. Okay, kita bercerita lah kan. You're cycling, you're checking your handphone. Okay, you're taking photo. Okay, and then you're drinking. What do you call? Americano ke, cafe latte ke. So it's dangerous to juggle all three. Okay, so tell them when I decide to tell that scenario, paint that scenario, they say yes, it's dangerous. Same goes to writing. Okay, you're not supposed to have all that. Okay, you're not supposed to do everything at once. Do one step at a time. Okay, brainstorm, then writing, then editing. Okay, the stages. All right. So stories can definitely connect them. Okay, you can use different characters. I remember listening to a person who teach economy using storytelling. teach finance using storytelling. Such a powerful tool. Okay. All right.
Zana,
Yeah.
can we have Puan Nur Aina Mahusin to mute her mic?
All right. Sekejap mana
Dia
dia ya?
tengah cakap tu, so dia clash dengan your voice.
Oh, I see. All right. Okay. She left the meeting, I guess. Dia dah left. Okay, thank you, Madam Farah. Okay ke so far? Rasa macam laju pula.
So far so good, Zana. Go, go, go.
Alright. Okay. Alright. Next tip. Next tip. Okay. Especially when it comes to ODLI, online distant learning. Okay, when it comes to online distant learning, I love using my son's toys or stationery to demonstrate to my students. Okay, verbally they are lost. Okay, but when I say why it's important to choose a clear evidence, okay, then they have to cite, buat citation, find evidence, find resources. They simply find articles that doesn't make sense. So I had to take, I don't have Ant-Man or Thanos. Sometimes I have those figurines. I put it here. Okay, here. Okay, here. This is Ant-Man or this is Captain America. Okay. So when you use these objects, okay, show it to them, and then I have the blade. I have all these kind. They, after using those items, they were like, faham. Okay, so that itu yang seronok tu. Alright, so somebody wanted to admit to this apa? Okay, so yeah, toys is powerful. Sometimes kan as lecturer kalau online kan, benda-benda yang dekat tu, okay, yang dekat-dekat kita tu, we just can grab them and show it as a tool for them to understand. Okay, visually, especially visually. All right. Okay. Next is tip number 9. This is online. Okay. It doesn't matter which one is your platform. Classroom ke, Google Meet ke, Msteam ke, Webex, Zoom, Telegram, Facebook. Okay. You choose something that, what makes it easy for you to deliver, okay, especially when it comes to technical glitch. So I personally use Facebook because it's recorded, okay, it's recorded and they can go to that, they can go to the group and watch and rewatch my lecture. All right. So one thing about our students, they are shy, but when it comes to asking, typing, confirmation of facts, they asking for question, dia orang tak malu kat situ. Dia tanya soalan. Alright. So and then you get all these emoticons. Seronok tengok kan. Madam dapat love, dapat like. Alright. Okay. Platform lah. The struggle with the line is the technical here, okay, especially people like us kan, yang zaman dinosaur, saya yang duduk era zaman dinosaur tu, macam mana ni kan, we are exposed to so many things kan. You can try, okay, experiment with your students, okay, asking them which platform they are comfortable with. So for example, this week for UiTM, they say, Madam, can we meet, okay, face to face, okay, they requested, okay, tak apa, kita pergi kelas. So can we do it online, okay, why? So ada 1 or 2 cases, okay, positive, then okay, fine, line. So they are comfortable there. And I remember, do we need to switch to Google Meet? Okay, every week for 4 weeks in a row, I remember last semester kan. Can we switch to other platform? No, madam, cannot. Tak mau. We love it here. So sampai ke sudah lah kan, I use Facebook, okay, because they feel comfortable. Okay, they at first memang diorang tak seronok lah, tak suka, tak biasa kan. apps untuk orang tua-tua. Okay. Diorang zaman Insta, okay, Madam zaman era Facebook. So itulah. Okay, next is, alright. Next is tip number 10. Is it the last tip for now? So dah sampai sejam boleh habis. Tip number 10 is basically, okay, ni daripada Marie Kondo. Have fun, spark joy in your teaching. Okay. My secret weapon is, other than using sense of humor. Okay. I love to play. Okay. Playing in the class, meaning bukan play main bowling ke apa, tak. They play but using the content of our lecture. Okay. So when you have fun in the class, when students find joy in the class, then you are able to boost students' engagement. Budak-budak seronok. Okay. Budak-budak seronok. That's why kids love playing. Alright. So how do you encourage student engagement other than using games? You can have powerful movements. You can use open-ended question. You can come up with certain apps. This one is ramai ni. Ada hands-on activity. Sometimes students themselves, they are creative. Okay. Coming out with their presentation, okay. And my personal secret weapon is game-based learning. Okay, game-based learning. Alright, this is my favorite. Okay, it started with just playing cards. Okay, to create it. Memang makan masa. It takes time to develop the tool. But eventually once you establish that, you can reuse, then you cut down the time of your teaching. Okay. I don't have the card here. Then after that play card is for chatting booster, where they use speaking, okay? They use different language expression to talk to their friends, okay? And then later on, they can use games for listening, okay? For writing, and then for reading, okay? All right. So usually, you do it in groups. Okay, the famous using all the collaborative learning techniques. Banyak tu. Kalau if you Google and look for collaborative learning, okay, there are certain techniques. Okay, think, pair, and share. Banyak those things are used as your delivery method. Okay, sebagai delivery method. Alright. Okay. So instead of 10, can I give you extra tip? Believe it or not, as teachers, as lecturers, okay, your voice is very powerful. Intonation, okay, intonation, high and low. That's why Faizal Tahir, Siti Nurhaliza, Adele, okay, suara memanglah sedap. Okay, Madam Zana, suara tak adalah sedap, but when you know how to control your motivation, your intonation, then student will be seronok dengar. Because I remember student, tak seronok madam, flat dia. So I'm like, oh ya ke? So you know, play with your intonation, okay? Your speed, not too fast, not too slow, okay? The tone of your voice, okay? Jangan terlampau kuat. Nanti kalau terlampau kuat jadi viral lah pula. Pitching not too high. So it depends on the audience in front of you juga, okay? So small classroom, then you can tone down everything. If it's a big lecture and you have microphone, then don't forget, jangan menjerit. Okay, jangan menjerit. I remember one technique I learned from a friend daripada kawan. Students were so noisy, okay, bising, okay, pop, 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 pop. And then instead of you say, diam, diam, you know, what he did was, in front of the dia diam. And then he looked. That is just to what you call, control the classroom. Okay? Yeah, and I suddenly noticed that the lecturer is quiet. And then everybody settle down and start focusing. It's very powerful. Sometimes not saying anything is very powerful. Tapi if it's online, if you're not saying anything, tu masalah lain lah. Kenapa dia diam? Hang ke? Madam hang ke? Madam? Dia kata. Madam masuk. Pernah jadi. I accidentally, okay, during the first PKP, during the first MCO, I accidentally kick myself out from the Google Meet. Then I don't know what's going on. Itulah pengalaman. Alright, I think last but not least, I promised only 10 tips, okay? But now I'm giving you extra. The last one, plus one tip. Tip 13 is paint your personality. According to a psychologist, okay, we as individual, we have 7 different types of personality. Ada 7. Kita ni ada 7 jenis. In front of our family, or in front of boyfriend, or kids. So in front of your students, choose your aura. Choose your aura. Choose your persona. Okay, because remember, you, okay, as a lecturer, as a teacher, you are a role model to your students. So the one thing that I always portray myself is to try to be energetic. Walaupun, you know, migraine, okay, even though you have that migraine, you know, split into half, but still hang in there. Okay, so you yourself, you ask yourself, how would you want to be treated? Okay, if you are being harsh, if you're being nasty, okay, how would you feel? All right, so because remember, students are human and you are human as well. Okay, tell them if you need to cut short, then you cut short. All right, so monochrome or rainbow, sunshine, unicorns, you know, just for 1 hour or 2 hours, be the sunshine. All right, okay, so to conclude, okay, what is effective teaching, ladies and gentlemen? Okay, to conclude, yes, remember, you have what you are given the power to control the climax of your of learning in the classroom. So, okay, make sure you plan, you organize, get your sources, okay, always the best sources, okay. Take care of the relationship with your students, okay. You yourself as educator, you need to learn and relearn, okay. And remember, always do your reflection, assessment for your learning. Not only for your students as well. Sometimes you need to assess your own teaching, okay. What is okay and what's not okay. All right. So the reflection is very important. All right. So here are some of the feedbacks given by my students. I was asking, tak adalah nak shock sendiri, because or else kita betul ke? So I asked my students, you know, did you enjoy my class? Okay, what is it that you find my class, you know, effective? So I just share a few. Number, what they say is the materials that I bring in, superb materials, sources, and then fun. Okay, that's why the things that I share with you, kenalah tanya client, the most important client. And then the way you explain, okay, you have to make it easy for them. Alright. They love the Facebook Live. Alright. Yeah. I think it depends on the Facebook, it depends on the subject as well. Right. Next one is cheerful. Okay, that is say knowledge, source of knowledge. Alright, source of knowledge meaning the content is very important. Okay, and then videos. It takes sometimes not hours, days, weeks, just to get one the correct video. Okay, just to correct the, something that is related that they can engage. Alright. If you cannot find the video, then you have to come up with the video, kan? And then make things easy for them. Alright, makes things easy. Okay, Dr. Mazlin.
Yes, Zana.
I will like super speed eh. Cakap lagi seorang shock sendiri orang kata.
Tak apa. Okay. Now, let us see whether there's any questions from the members of the floor.
So we have like 1 hour Q&A. Wow.
From Google Meet, no question.
Google Meet no question, ya?
Google Meet no question. YouTube, no question.
Very good.
And apa ni? One more is this one. ILD. No.
I have smart participants. Oh, terror.
Yeah.
I see one question from Hajah Sharina.
Yes. Yes. Can you see the question? How to be creative, Zana?
How to be creative? Okay, this is interesting. Macam mana? Kalau kita nak berdasar, if you ask, it depends on research base. Yeah, I did a few research on reading. Contohnya kan, you find the topics that they like. So our students, they prefer topics like, believe it or not, yeah, they love topic number 1 is watching movie. Number 2, music. Number 3, how to start business. So you play around with this, okay, finding the topics. How to do it? I usually look for something. That's why I say I study my students first. Look at that. I remember in 1996 and 1998 dulu, their preference. Okay, they love Siti Nurhaliza. They love Datuk Roshamno. Masa tu, zaman-zaman tu lah kan. So, you use this, okay, to trigger their interest. The games that they like. The best thing to study what is interesting is you watch television. Television kan, TV3, RTM boleh lah kan. What are the things that they bring in to the viewers. Okay, so I remember dulu macam one point tu Amazing Race masa tu. Amazing Race is so amazing. And then TV3 buat Explore Race. So I decide to bring into the class to my students. Tu yang Dr. Mazin we did that Sparkle Race. So we did learning English outside classroom. So we study pop culture, Puan Sharina. We study pop culture. So and then Running Man, yang kata madam macam Running Man. Okay, even though madam tak tengok Running Man. Okay, so and then another thing is bring in, okay, all these famous figure into my sentences. Okay, usually dulu Ali, Abu kan. So if I construct sentences, it's always Fatah, Amin. And then sometimes I use their classmates' names. Seronok lah diorang. These are the things that ni. Study, watching, another thing that is going to the mall, believe it or not. Going to the mall that masa dulu lah, sebelum zaman COVID dulu, they have all these things, latest things that they introduce. Kan kita window shopping kan, tengok benda comel-comel ni kan. Then you decide to connect things. Alright. Okay. So what is current now is students love to play videos. Itu yang madam lemah sikit tu kan. So learn a few terms for to video kan. If you manage to learn the characters in the video, tu memang you will get connected. Alright. Okay, sekejap. Ada question
Yeah. Zana ada question from Dr. Yusnita. How to balance the real contents in delivery and the contents or talk that just used to attract our students. Sometimes we would lose time just playing hard to get attracted.
Alright. That is very interesting. Okay. Now, I give example teaching reading, for example, mengajar teaching reading. So when it comes to teaching reading, you need to look for skimming and scanning, teaching terms, contextual clues, kan? You know the theory, okay? But you get the text, something funny, something connected. Dia macam mana? The question, okay? Usually the content, you tone down the content, but the questions are related to the curriculum. Soalan dia kau-kau. Dia kata. Then insyaAllah you will not divert. InsyaAllah. So contohnya, okay, very simple. Doraemon or Mr. Bean? It sounds very, very apa ni? But you can include the critical thinking part. Okay, you include the, in terms of analytical part. So analyze the character. So itulah dia kata dia nak kena fikir, brainstorm. And to do this, sometimes, okay, I welcome team. You welcome a team. I have a few friends who they work together. Okay. Contohnya to get what is it? Storytelling, or what is it? I'm gonna quote example Pensyarah. She came up with the animation, okay, from Semai punya ni, which is very good. And then later on, okay, she has the real story and also the questions, the critical thinking to talk about. And then later on, she developed a game. Alright. So always remember the core, okay. Soalan tu kan dia ada certain structure tu, but you can turn it not all games dia kena tengok juga. Not all games you can play snake and ladder. Okay. Make it into a competition. Okay, make it into a competition where one person, okay, and then they interact. Alright. So how do you control here as an educator? By the end of the lesson, you bring in the real thing. Okay. Try to connect the dots. So in my case, okay, listening, for example, I don't go into the heavy conversation. I give songs, but they have to do critical thinking. Okay, they have to do the predicting. Okay, what happened to the singer? Tu kena lah tu, kena fikir lah tu, brainstorm. Okay, and then you say what is the voice, the tone, okay, the tone of the singer. Tu semua lah. So the question is always the core business. Jadi macam nampak lah ke nilai-nilai ilmiah dia tu. Okay. Betul tak ni? Did I answer your question, Dr. Yusnita? Okay. I have people who only play for half an hour, boleh juga. If you don't want to divert half an hour, then you lock it, bawa ke your lecture. Alright. Okay, good. Nak tunjuk tapi soft copy semua entah ke mana pasal that ni ya. My another listening practice is I use jukebox. Okay, they have handphone. Budak-budak ada handphone. Okay, download 5 songs. Okay, so you listen 5 songs. When it comes to the question, I throw very hardcore question. Okay, so by the end of it, yes, it's very critical. They managed to tackle that. Okay, so easy content, tough, questions. Okay, next question is from Dr. Fazmawati. I agree to very close, ask them. Yes. Okay, all right. Anything else, Dr. Mazlin? Oh, engineering. Engineering. Have you tried field trip, Dr. Yusnita? Funny, interesting things like you said. Yes. Okay. I'm going to share the sparkle race here. As an English lecturer, you teach them to speak. You teach them to write, listen. So when I decided to go out the class and in the group, so they have to go certain things. They really have to deal with strangers. Itu seronok tu. So communicate. Okay. So by the communicate from one shop to another shop, to another shop, to another shop. So that is where kita belajar, to ask question. Okay, ataupun to disagree, to make decisions. Okay, that is where they apply it. Okay, they apply whatever we have in the class, and then you bring it out. So maybe engineering tu teori, then later on let's go out. Boleh start engine, naik bus, you go somewhere. Okay, zaman-zaman COVID ni you go virtual. Yes. Alright, Dr. Mazlin, anything else? Boleh habis awal ni.
Yeah. Yes, like what you said, the sparkle race. Yeah, I mean, we bring them to the application. Okay, what you have taught in class, bring them out, and then they practice. Yeah. So it's quite interesting if we have the chance, the opportunity. Yeah. And then we can bring students for a field trip, something like that. Yeah, like an event. Make it like an event. Make them interesting. Okay. Any other questions or any sharing from members of the floor?
This is the prime hour kan, 11 to 1. So line, if I'm not mistaken, line is slightly disrupt. Anything else? Anything from on Facebook and YouTube, Dr. Mazli?
Let me check again. Let me check. Oh yeah, wait. Okay, one question from YouTube, yeah.
Okay, yeah, sure.
From Nick, yeah. Macam mana Zana assess keperluan pelajar?
Oh, this is interesting. Now, it is based on a research by Joy Reid. Okay, Joy Reid. JOYREID, Joy Reid. Where she had a series instrument. Okay, dia punya nama instrument dia as a questionnaire perceptual learning style. Okay, just for English. Okay, so when student answer a few questions, okay, they can generate the result. That is where I learn. And then Joy Reid, okay, they have come up with she carried out the research. Dia di kalangan pelajar Arab dia ada buat, kalangan pelajar from China, international students di Amerika dia buat. So findings lebih kurang. So when I did that particular research, I carry out. Okay, so memang terbukti, barulah saya faham. It's not that the students are what do you call, not smart. Tak nak kena stupid kan. It's just how they learn differently. Okay, so kita ingat, okay, kalau lecture is auditory. Rupanya pelajar daripada negara Arab, tak ada masalah. You can give lecture 1 hour, 2 hours. They can absorb the knowledge, okay. But our Malay students, okay, pelajar Melayu kita, they are kinesthetic. They have to move around in the class. So when I teach writing, is all tak duduk pun kalau dalam kelas lah. They walk around. And ada soalan nanti boleh Google perceptual learning style. That is how you get ni. And then another one is the preference tu, interest tu. I developed that questionnaire. Okay, how to come up with the text. Okay, text selection in teaching reading. Okay, is also based on, sometimes you can ask what is your preference. That's why first class is important to learn, to get to know them. Okay, all right. So know their strength. Okay, know their weakness. All right. Know their talents. Okay, so when you know their talents, it will be very interesting. Okay, very interesting to come up with the content.
That is to build engagement, right?
Yes, betul. First class, I remember a student, okay, introduce. Biasalah, usually they kalau yang bake cake tu, cupcakes tu, biasalah kan, pandai masak. That is normal. Until one boy came out, my talent is I can see things around me that people cannot see. Kita pun dah seram sejuk lah kan. Okay. What do you see? Ali, contoh kan. Do you see anything next to me? Tak ada. Madam clear. Okay, so interesting lah. Then the entire class lah. Okay. And then 2 days ago ada student kata, Madam saya pandai taranum. Okay, their strength is amazing.
Okay, Zana, check the chat box. Yeah. Chat box. Question from YouTube from Shazwan. Got 3 questions.
Okay. See, this is interesting. Ada sekejap Before that ada Professor Madia, Dr. Mahazi kata based on your experience how you teach in the field of engineering calculation for the theoretical, educating them as a student about how to teach them calculation solution to make it fun. Yay! This is where we come up with competition, Dr. Mahazi. Competition. Make it interesting. So pair them up, dua. Usually the cheapest reward. Kan student they work very good with reward. Nasi lemak 2 bungkus. Pagi-pagi they are very hungry, memang settle. Okay, who can settle the calculation? Now, this is the best part dia punya competition. Who cannot answer or incomplete task, they have to do extra work. Memang confirm. Or they have to do presentation something. Memang confirm they will compete. Okay, nasi lemak. But I think not every week lah nasi lemak kan. Sometimes you can twist the words. Those who cannot complete the task will have to treat. Kena belanja orang yang menang. Kan? Madam pun poket tak besar sangat kan. Competition, you compete. Okay, the students love to compete. Okay, in a very formal way, very healthy way. Okay, so Dr. Mahazi, saya selalu macam tu kalau tak siap, buat extra essay, memang tak maunya. Semua siap, kerja semua siap.
Okay, thank you. Next questions. Okay, thanks.
Okay, ada Shazwan ya, Dr. Mazi.
Yes,
Can we elaborate on how to avoid boring freeze moment during online learning? Saya selalu kena boring and freeze. Okay, your tips and tricks present in your workplace. Okay, how to freeze instead of 2 hours, slice your lesson. 10 minutes, break kejap. Okay, break. If you want to leave, then come back. Bagi time frame. 10 minutes. But usually online, okay, I was told by an expert, a video of 10 minutes 10 minutes of teaching is equivalent to 1 hour. Okay. So again, our student bukannya boleh concentrate lama-lama. Kan? So my lecture short, okay, followed by task and followed by discussion. Macam tu. Okay. Jadi sometimes you can imagine yourself, put yourself in that shoe. Do you want to hear yourself talking for 2 hours? Kan? Okay. Kadang penat kan? So short break. Sometimes I remember one my friend did a technique, dia ajar biology. Biology. She cut one subtopic banyak, one subtopic break, she had competition dengan kawan, dengan student dia. So give sweets. Then habis that subtopic, continue with another one. Okay. So how do you do it? Compliment the students for compliment. Have that positive vibes. Compliment them. Diorang seronok. And acknowledge them. You have that, okay? Presenting enjoyment, workplace enjoyment, present. What tips and tricks enjoyment workplace? How do we enjoy ni Dr. Mazin? Saya makan je banyak.
Enjoyment workplace.
Itulah.
I guess a field trip will make it interesting. Yeah, what we share in class might be different from what the students will experience later in real life or workplace situation.
Betul? I remember
Trip.
I remember a lecturer who did ice breaking bukan dalam kelas and send the student out to interview the staff around the campus. Tu dia. Jalan kan. Alright. Another next question is we provide example for field factor? Yes, example is not but not suitable for, it's not very formal. Yes, they are not formal, not suitable as meetings materials. I remember teaching a meeting punya subject. Okay. Yes, it is very formal. Okay. But you can bring in what do you call case study. Okay, you can take a real life situation. Alright. So for example, the latest is Will Smith kan dengan Chris Rock. That is a very something out there, but it's very good to talk about critical thinking. Do you slap someone? Okay, what is right and wrong? So if you think something not is suitable, okay, you have to keep looking. Okay, throw that out. Okay, alright. But sometimes students can come up with very interesting response. Itu yang menarik tu. Okay. Alright. Can you elaborate on how you practice different situation scenario once dealing with? Dengan siapa ya, Syazwan?
Sekejap. Dealing with kejap. Yeah. Morning and afternoon session student. Ada lagi satu. Morning and afternoon session, especially to encourage students active in the Q&A. You know, whether it's different morning and class afternoon.
Okay. Sometimes they Q&A tu kan, you know, they have that, okay, write down the question on a piece of paper. That one morning lah, pas. Okay. Kalau in the evening tu, dia memang semua ni kan, semua segar bugar, so they can walk around in the class. Okay, malam pun malam lagi chaos in the class. Okay, sebab dah mandi, dah solat, dah makan, so they are alive. Okay, in the real class. So morning usually you yourself have to be extra. So the warm up punya set induction tu kena extra. Okay, so I am very lucky during usually I give a video contohnya, and then sometime you know online kan biasalah, how many of you have taken shower, dah mandi ke belum, okay, those are the things to crack things out kan. So If you're not, you have not taken your shower, I can smell it till here. Kan, memang entah silap hari bulan semua tidur kan. Yang tu kita tak boleh nak control. But how do I do it is make sure for them to respond is dia bukan menggugut, tapi dia macam you submit your task, okay, you do your discussion, then your attendance, I'll take your attendance. Itulah dia macam dia reward, give and take, that kind of things. Okay. What else can we reward them? Okay. This is the trick here. Okay, the last person to answer the question will be the first one to do the assessment. Contohnya kan, speaking test kena buat dulu. Memang definitely lah. We have a question from Muhammad Tuan Haji Muhammad Syazrul ni.
Yeah, can you?
Ya, sure. Boleh. Sorry.
Assalamualaikum Dr. Mazlin and Madam Rozana.
Assalamualaikum.
Okay, how do we encourage and support a shy student in our class? Because I experienced a few students very shy and passive. So if you have any advice?
Especially online kan? Online
Yeah.
Online.
Yeah, online.
Especially Google Meet kan? Am I right?
Yes.
So yes, they're very quiet, they are shy, apa semua tu. That's why I moved to Facebook. So when I moved to Facebook, they have so many questions. Diorang suka type tu. Kan? That one, they are very active. Okay, so if you're in the Google Meet, okay, Google Meet, what you can do is to check on their understanding. So towards the end of the class, you ask students to summarize your lesson for today. Okay, membuat rumusan. Alright, so maybe not all, maybe like 5 or 3 students to do a sum up. So that one, okay, that one, I mean, bila diorang buat rumusan tu, you can check on them whether they understand or not understand. Alright, so for example, lesson here, you have these 3 students or 5 students, and then the next class, okay, you find buat rumusan apa yang dipelajari the other 3 students. That is checking up. Sometimes they listen to their friends. Okay, dia kata apa Abu cakap tadi, then apa Fasha Sanda cakap tadi. So sometimes this is how you check up on them. Okay, yang tu boleh using that ni sum up. And then do you notice can Muhammad Syazrul Hafizi, do you notice who are these people? If you notice it's the same people, 1 or 2, maybe if you have the time, panggil 2-3 orang and talk. Mungkin dia tak faham, kadang-kadang dia tak faham.
Okay.
Kadang-kadang ada yang jaga adik masa online lah kan. I remember yang ada sampai sudah senyap, rupanya jaga tok. Dia jaga tok dekat rumah. Alright, kadang-kadang dekat hospital. So sometimes that is how we have to accommodate kan.
Alright.
Okay.
Thank you. Alright.
You're welcome.
Alright, Zana, one more question from Encik Fazwan. Tengok dekat chat box.
Boleh. For undergraduate students, how to encourage them reading a research journals, even though output is solid evidence, most argument too long to read. Many thanks. How to do that? Interesting eh? Usually the trick is to read the abstract kan, Dr. Mazlin?
Yeah, first step lah.
Okay. How about, okay, this is just, I'm throwing an idea. There are like, for example, maybe 30 students in the class. Maybe you assign one student one journal. Kan, satu doable lah, one journal. And later on, they talk about the journal for 5 minutes in front of the class. Cara menipu lah pula kan? Is that something doable? Daripada, okay, one person 20 journals. Kan? Sengit lah kan. So assign, okay, you read this. Okay. Then you do typical one, you do a video or you do a TikTok kan. That's interesting. Do a TikTok on a research journal. Nama artikel buat TikTok. TikTok is the in thing kan. Okay. So assigning one student one journal or one student two journals, and they do summary and they share it with their friends. They do mind map with their friends, share. So by the end of it, insyaAllah kot. Bolehlah kot kalau 30 journals. How many journals do they have to read, Dr. Shazwan?
This coming from the YouTube. This
YouTube.
YouTube question.
Mungkin lah kot kan. Certainly. Kalau maybe the requirement for that particular code kan. Research methodology and whatnot. I remember having a lecture. So the topic is like tough. So subtopics, okay, subtopics. You divide it into apa kata orang kata to students to do it. Distributive, orang kata distributive or collaborative. Okay. So that's one of the way. I hope I answer your question, Dr. Shazwan.
All right. Okay. So Facebook no question. Google Meet also no more question. Okay.
I'm going to teach EPJJ later on. Yeah, this is have to be mentally prepared. Kadang-kadang kita pun kan, we have to be mentally prepared to teach. Kan, kadang-kadang kesediaan kita kan, our readiness to make changes tu, it's not easy. Alright, yes, Dr. Mazlin.
Yes.
Boleh ke tutup awal ni? Can we end our session?
Boleh. Yes, have covered. Okay, one last call. Last call.
Such an amazing group. InsyaAllah those who are with UiTM, they'll be getting link kehadiran kan?
Sekejap lagi, I will share the link kehadiran. Yeah.
Sure.
Okay. So I guess no more question, right? So before we leave, let's take few pictures as memento of our program today. Yeah. So yes, you can switch on your camera if you like, or you can, yeah. Right.
There's a question from Dr. Irene.
I have one last question.
Ada pula kan. Ate Dr. Ariel, Madam Zana mentioned a lot about videos to support your TNA. Yes. Boleh minta share YouTube channel please? Oh, I don't have a YouTube channel, Dr. Ariel. But yes, I do. But if you want to rewatch this particular recording, it is on YouTube channel. Nak tengok dan belajar. Okay. Alright. InsyaAllah. How to this is what happen if you love YouTube kan? YouTube is, they have resources plenty. Sometimes appropriate, sometimes it's not appropriate. You have to do evaluate and re-evaluate. Yes, Dr. Irene. Yes, thank you. Alright, kamerasnya kita tangkap gambar. Is it okay?
Tangkap gambar. Alright. Siapa? Hazwan tangkap gambar kita ke?
Who's the cameraman? Sir Azlan ke?
Sir Azlan ke? Sir Azlan. Alright.
Alright.
Okay, say cheese. Ready? Say cheese. Everyone. Okay, and then kita have a last formal pose. Alright. Okay, alright. Link kehadiran dah diberikan ya. Okay. Now, ladies and gentlemen, so in short, effective teaching, it is an art, science and also creative after listening to Madam Razanawati. Yeah. Okay, on behalf of the organizer, we would like to thank Madam Razanawati for her expertise, knowledge, and of course her warmth. Yeah. Let's hope we'll meet again at our next APB ILD session. And to all UiTM staff, please click on link for your training hours. Link kehadiran will be disediakan, okay, will be posted on those 3 platforms, yeah. To all viewers, I hope you did enjoy the talk and can apply the prizes knowledge to your classroom physically and virtually. Before signing off, thank you for your patience, understanding, and support. Please forgive any shortcomings from my part. Lastly, stay safe, stay amazingly positive, and always wear your face mask and clean your hands. Take care and goodbye everyone. Selamat menyambut bulan Ramadan to those yang akan menjalani ibadah puasa. Alright, see you
Thank you
again.
very much. Salam Ramadan to everyone.
Thank you, Farah.
Thank you everyone.
Thank you, Sana. Thank you, everybody.
Welcome. Mari kita tengok.
Good job, Dr. Mazlin.
Thank you, Zana.
Such an amazing moderator.
Yeah. Kita ada speaker yang bagus. Kita okay je.
My friends, they have problems with the line.
Yeah.